We're at the Ocean City Lifeguard Museum with former Senior Lieutenant Angelo Saltis, we call him Ange, and former Lieutenant Fred Miller. They're going to talk about the history of the lifeboats in Ocean City and the importance of the lifeboats to the Ocean City Beach Patrol. So what do you have there, Ange?
Well, if you were on a rescue and you happen to have more than 2 people in a riptide, it's going to be tough to bring them in on the can. If you get 4 or 5 people in a riptide, now you really have a hard time to bring them in on the can. But with a boat, you go out, you pick them up, you put them in the boat, and you got them very secure, and you can bring them in. And if you have extra one left over, maybe the can person can bring them in. But with the boat, you can pull a lot of people out when they get in trouble. If you're up in the case of a jetty, and you certainly don't want a lifeguard or a person to get caught with a jetty because of the barnacles. The barnacles will cut you like a razor. Anyone who worked on the beach patrols and watched up on the jetty will never forget it. With a boat, you can get there, you can get the people off of the jetty, you can get them into the boat, you can bring them out. Whereas if you're on a can, it gets very, very dicey down there. And there's no comparison to the value of a boat on a rescue. And like I said, if you're in a rescue, you have a lot of people, and you're trying to bring them in, you'll be very, very happy to see a boat come out and get you.
This boat says 1924 on here. Is that something you can talk about, Fred? Or?
Yeah, this was a 1924. This was a racing boat that they used in the Nationals.
But it's similar to the boats we use today. That's what you see these boats, and these are centerpieces of our museum. The two lifeboats. This was one from the 20s. Probably one of the last boats we bought was a wood boat in the 60s, in 1964. And we started replacing the wood boats in the 70s with fiberglass boats. Now they're all fiberglass, although they're the same design. People come up on the beach and you see them feeling the fiberglass boats just to check that they're fiberglass, because they look like wood boats and they're designed just like our boats were in the early, even the 1924 boat that we have here. But the good thing about the fiberglass boats, they're so much lighter to begin with. They don't gain weight like the old wood boats would gain weight over the summers. 5 or 6 summers, they'd be probably 100 pounds heavier than they were when they were new. Fiberglass, they don't do that. They keep the same weight, and they're much easier to handle. And I've always said it doesn't take strength to row these boats. It takes skill, and that's why we have our women lifeguards, our champions and rowers, and they can handle the boat as well as any of the men lifeguards, because it's skill involved, and we, as rookie guards, they learn how to handle the boat. One of the things they do on the rookie test every year is to see how well they can handle the boat before they even hire a lifeguard. They have the rowing event as part of the tryout. So the men and the women trying out, they demonstrate their ability to row the boat. And as I said, strength is not the major factor. It's the skill in handling the boat in the ocean, and that's why we're so happy with our fiberglass boats. Plus, they last a long time. They're just invaluable piece of rescue equipment.